Hey everyone, I wanted to share some personal experience on this relational thing and talk about this part of the human design chart that came up in a relationship chart reading last night and is also currently transiting. So, when I was in high school, I had this boyfriend that I was really infatuated with. He was so fun to be around. We had so much fun together. We were together for a little over 2 years, and it was a great time. And looking back on that, I realized how there were never any fights. There were never any disagreements. There was nothing that just, exploded or came to a head. We didn't argue. There was no friction. And we went absolutely nowhere together. We went nowhere. It was so stale. In the end, we weren't growing together, and so it ended. It fell apart. And then maybe 8 years ago or so, I dated a guy for a few months, and it was similar. There was no friction, no difficulty, and it was boring. It was not growing. It was going nowhere. So it ended. So this part of the human experience, this archetype that I'm talking about in the human design chart, we know to be gate 6, and it partners with gate 36. So this is, I guess, for all you who are curious, the geeks out there, this is a Virgo Pisces polarity that's relational and emotional. And the gate 6 specifically does have to do with friction and relationships. And if you look in the human design chart, it creates a channel with gate 59, and it has to do with intimacy. And so when there is friction in a relationship, it is an opportunity for intimacy, for honesty, for connection, and for growth. So some of us have this in our human design chart. I'm one of those people. I've got gate 6. And it's also my midheaven, actually. So I have this gate 636 experience in life. And it's activated in my human design chart, right? And so what came up in this relationship reading last night, what I was sharing that I wanted to share with you now, is this fact that friction is necessary for growth. And so when there are these moments where something rubs us the wrong way in a relationship, any relationship of any kind, it is important that we look at it to understand it in whatever manner we need to. It's not always something to be shared with the person necessarily. Sometimes it's just for you to see something about you, but maybe it really is something that needs to be an argument. Because that is something that will ideally ultimately lead to intimacy and peace within the relationship. So when there is any sort of friction, when there is any sort of argument, something comes up between you and another person, when it's addressed, then it's repaired. And this is something that actually strengthens the relationship. It's an opportunity. There's a little, some sort of disruption. And then there's an opportunity for something to come up to be seen, greater awareness, greater intimacy, honesty, awareness of the other person. And then there is the potential for repair, which is actually an indication of a healthy, growing relationship. Relationships cannot grow without this element of friction, without this element of negativity. So it is actually good to have periods of things that do not feel good in relationship. And so this high school relationship I had that I thought was amazing was really, really not going anywhere. It was destined to fail because there was no friction. So when these moments come up, it is helpful for us to remind ourselves, hey, this doesn't feel good. There's friction between me and this person I love. There's unrest in my household, or whatever. Remind yourself that it is an opportunity for growth. This is so that we can grow. This is so that I can actually be closer to this other person, so that we can achieve more intimacy, right? So it is a gift, big time, if it is repaired. So being able to infuse those moments of friction with peace can be very difficult. This is something that I have had many opportunities to grow in and work in over time. Moments of friction in relationship, and it really requires some somatic practices, deep breathing, and getting through it, having the conversations, and being honest despite the fear and the pain and the tears and all of that. But it gets better. You really can infuse peace into those moments of friction. And then, ideally in all of our relationships, like the research says, we have, whatever they say, whatever study it is, that says we have 5 or 10 positive experiences to the one negative. But this negative experience is critical for the growth of relationships. And so be thankful for it, really use it. Use that friction. When it shows up, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to learn something about me and you. And then on the other side of this, if we can repair this, which is the goal, then we will be better together. We will be stronger. We have moved up. So that's what this is about, this transit this week, and this part of the human design chart. And if you don't have it in your human design chart, it just means that, you might experience these themes in your relationships less consistently. It's not that like there's not going to be friction in your relationships or whatever, but some of us are designed to bring, to more regularly and consistently bring a certain type of friction into our relationships, or to learn more about peace in any sort of emotional turbulence, or to learn more about boundaries and honesty, that sort of thing. And so I'm one of them. Wanted to share this from experience. I hope you enjoy the transit. Yes, and at the moment, actually, until the end of October, I am offering relationship chart readings. So if you want to look at a chart of yours in connection with someone else in your life that you know and or love and want to understand, you can send me a message or an email to Cameron@CameronCoots.com. Okay, all right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.